Well, lately, much to my annoyance, the CX hasn't really sprung into gear the way I kind of thought it would. Normally, around about this time, November, everything's getting ready for Christmas, should be getting busy. But what I'm finding recently, it's a lot of jobs and they're all just wrong. Needs to be picked up at 4 o'clock and delivered at 8 o'clock at night, meeting the fitters. Needs to be stored for 2 days. Needs to go over, in the opposite direction to where you're going. Needs to go in the middle of nowhere, that kind of thing. And the normal jobs, the little ones that you're kind of looking for, the sort of 100 miles there, 100 miles back, or 3 around town or something like that, seem to have been few and far between. So as a result of which, I've been quoting, that's the other thing, I'll get tipped at 8 in the morning, and at 10 o'clock I'm still looking for something, anything. Then I get something, then it gets cancelled. So what I've started doing is doing the far, far away jobs. So you kind of go, well, look, it's 10 o'clock. I'll take anything going anywhere, as long as I can get the right money for it. And then I'll just have to stay out and see what I can get coming back, So I did this on Monday. And, well, I did, whenever this goes out. I did this and I ended up in Exeter. Fortunately, one of our customers is in Exeter. I did Lidl's, I did the video on it. And then one of our customers in Exeter, and I bought it back. And the hotel was a bit dear as well, because I don't know if I can get in the car park. I'm not inclined to book it ahead of time. And a lot of these places sell out on the cheap, like a month before they go, because it's all carpenters and fitters or people who know they've got meetings, so they all sell. So I got this hotel, and it was 89 quid. And they wanted to charge me for parking. Fortunately, the machine weren't working, so I got the parking for free. It's a minor fortune, isn't it, really? And I went, she said, it's £89. But the lorry was in the car park, and I went, I could have parked it in Lidl's car park and parked for free for the night, but then there's the bed, and then there's the shower or the bath, and the fact that bang opposite the hotel was one of those kind of harvester places. I thought I can have a pint, and I could watch a bit of telly, and then I sleep in a bed. So I said to the woman, I'm going to have to go out and have a word with myself. And then I came back about 2 minutes later and went, yeah, I've booked it up. But if you book it on the phone, this is something that gets me. If you book it on the phone, you get the cheaper rate, because the rate that they charge you in the hotel is the flex rate, which means you can cancel at any time. Now, bearing in mind that I parked in your car park and I'm standing in your foyer with a drag-along suitcase next to me, what are the odds of me booking it and then 30 seconds later going, oh, no, sorry, there's a family emergency, I've got to shoot off? It's a bit cheeky, that one. So I said to Lisa, it was good money, because we got the money coming back and I've got good money going out there. I said, but I'm going to try, and I don't think I'm going to do any hotels, it's just not working out. It's too dear. You're ahead of me, aren't you? So I've come home today, once again, tipped in Bicester, can't get anything, and there's one going to the west coast of Wales. So I made him an offer I can't refuse, and I'm going to the west coast of Wales. It's not quite the west coast, it's very near the west coast, so I ain't coming home tomorrow, and I might not be coming the next day. So guys, it's another life on the road video. I'm going to take my bag home, which is over there, that drag-along thing. Can you see that thing there? We're going to re-kit that up for the next day or so and see where it takes us. The one thing I will say is this particular part of Wales I've never been to before, so it's a little bit of an explore, and that bit I'm looking forward to. I've also looked for jobs coming out from this part of Wales, and at the moment, coming out of it, in a 100-mile radius, there are 3 jobs, 2 of which are going into the zone I can't go into. Wish me luck. Well, it's a cold, dark November morning, darkish. It's not actually as late as I thought. I was going to start a bit earlier, but I slept badly again, so I'll not be picked up by half an hour's time, and I'm currently dressed like a Sith Lord. But we're off for a time on the road, off to High Wycombe, and then off to Wales. Here we go. when we stopped at the lights, I've reprogrammed the sat-nav to take me straight to there rather than the postcode, and it came up with it, which is, I tend to do that when I'm nearer the place rather than if I'm far away from it, because it might say, for example, it was a Sainsbury's, there might be 3 or 4 Sainsbury's not too far away from each other, but this one is it's quite an unusual name. I think I've been this kind of place before. I'm not sure. It's one of the things where you think, the amount of times where I turn up and go, I've been here, or I've been next door to it. So, but yeah, we're not too far away from it now. So, fingers crossed, I won't have to do my usual drive around for 5 minutes trying to find the place, ring them, go, where is it? And they go, it's that massive unit opposite you, you know, the one that hasn't got a sign on it. So, hopefully, we are nearly there. Let's look and see. Oh, it's down here. There it is. Monodrop. Have I been here before? Yes, I have. They were fine. They loaded with a full truck. Yeah, thank you, sir. Monodraft. And then we're on our way to Wales. Yay! Yales. That doesn't work. Well, I'm here. I rang the bell. No one about. That's not unusual. Oops, he was standing behind me. Good news though. Straight on, time to get loaded. And that's me loaded. Lovely. I wish they could all be like that. I'm going to be in and out of here in 15 minutes. 7 pallets. Nicely take up the space of the beds, nicely balanced and not too heavy. So it means that I won't be dragging when I'm going up hills, and I don't have to worry too much about the load shifting en route. And now I've got a 4.5 hour journey to Haverfordwest, which of course we won't be doing in one go because it's taken me an hour to get here. So I can only drive for a maximum of 3.5 hours. So I'm probably home for about 3 hours. Have a little stop and then we'll do the final one. Haverfordwest, here we come. Right, we select third and then reverse, because we go straight into reverse, it goes crunch. I was terrified, I thought the gearbox was on the way out, and then Mark turned around and he said, no, what you need to do is square the gears up first. So if you put it into either first or second or third or one gear and then reverse, and now it doesn't go crunch anymore, which is nice. The argument, if you can't find it, grind it, but if you can avoid grinding it, it might make the gearbox last just a little bit longer, which would be handy. I'll still try and dig myself out of my hole, which I'm doing the same thing. There's some gentlemen on their break, lovely. Trying to get ahead of them, right, we have to reverse out the road here. Do this nice and slowly. Cool. Doesn't appear to be anything about smashing at the back of the lorry, which is quite nice. Right, let's rock and roll. In all honesty, I think this roundabout, the High Wycombe one, is actually madder than the one in the middle of Hemel Hempstead. It's just, it frightens me. It's got so many lanes going, oh, I've got 4, but I'll tell you what I do, things, I count them. 1, don't want that one, there you go, there's no number in it. 2, don't want that one. It's got a lane that goes through the middle of it, and then a lane that goes over here, that's number 3. That's going, no, don't want that one, we're not going in 40, we're going down. You see that lane you can't run, you see the one that comes up from the right, it's absolutely mental. And if you go the wrong one, you're going round and round and round in circles, but then that's, I suppose, what you do on roundabouts, to be honest with you. Kind of is what they're designed for, isn't it, really? But yeah, as it is, it's after a small traffic jam getting on the roundabout, yeah, we're on the road. And Lauren Laverne doing cloud busting, and we've already had Hall & Oates Say No Go, and now we've got Gary Bird and the GB Experience with the Crown. So I'm going back to that, and you can enjoy the journey. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye. Right, Swansea West services. We're well into Wales now. I think it's about as far as Wales I've ever gone in. I went past Port Talbot and Port Talbot. I've been that bit before. You forget where you've been to, like, you know. But yeah, and I cut it a bit fine, I've got to be honest with you. I passed one services and it's like, you know, I had 30 minutes worth of driving on my clock. I thought, oh, there'll be another one soon. I finished on 4:28. But I finished on 4:28, so that's cool. We're inside, and it means I've now only got about an hour and 10 to go before my drop-off. I've kept an eye on it on the way down here. I bid on a couple from a long way. I mean, one picking up in Weston-super-Mare. That's a while to go, like, you know, and it's got to go right into South London. So I had to bid them with a ulez on it, and I don't think they're going to take too kindly to that. But I knew this was going to happen anyway, so we'll keep our chin up. I'm going to have my half-hour break here. I might even go and treat myself to a posh coffee because I've drunk all my tea. Yeah, wait for me half hour to go off and do the final leg. Bing bong. Well, that's the break over. 31 minutes clocked up. 1 hour and 9 minutes to Haverfordwest. I've also been clocking it's a school, so they ain't going to have a full truck. Fortunately, those pallets are incredibly light, and should come off of the town nice and easy. Still haven't found anything coming back yet, but got a little bit of time, haven't we? So let's see what happens. Well, we're nearly there. 2 minutes to go. The bomb doors are open. That's what I used to say in the Luton. When I get near to my destination, I'll flick the little red switch on the dashboard that operates the tail lift and go, bomb doors are open. So apparently the school is 0.2 miles away. So just do the final bit. And then we still haven't got anything coming back. I've quoted enough of them though. I'm kind of think what I am going to probably end up doing is heading back towards Bristol Way, Newport, Bristol, Cardiff along the way, and just pray that something comes up. Otherwise I'm going to run out of driving time. I'm going to have to stop and try and fetch something for the morning. Wish me luck. Right, here we are. Let's get it off. Well, that's the result. Just when I'm just pulled in, just when I'm just getting tipped, the phone goes. I've got my next one. It's not phenomenal. It's Merthyr to Bristol, and it's got an hour and a half to go pick it up. But it's heading in the right direction, and it's a few quid on it. It's only a little job, but because it's picking up at like between, and also it's late enough, so I've got plenty of time to get there. I can get there, I can have a rest, clear me driving time. Not that I really need to. I've got enough left on my clock, and it's picking up, I think, 4:45 to Bristol, about quarter past 6-ish. I'll get that off and work out where I'm staying tonight. Is it the Lenny Henry or is it the Daft Travel Lodge? Remains to be seen.
Left onto Cherry Grove.
Right, here we go again. Right, that's that one tipped, and we're on our way now to the next one, off to Merthyr Tydfil, which is 2 hours, just under 2 hours, and I've got 1.5 on my clock, which means I'll get there with 3.5 on my clock, and then when I clear my driving time I'll have 2 hours left, which is the time it's going to take me to get from Merthyr Tydfil to, where am I going? Bristol and then stop. And while we're on our way, we'll cross our fingers that something pings up. Something pings up from Bristol in the morning, and who knows? I might be lucky. I might get something from Bristol to take me home. I thought I was going to be out for at least 2 days, but it looks like, well, you never know. If the right money comes in, Bristol going anywhere, and I take the quote, I might be out for 2 days. But it'd be nice to get home, wouldn't it? Anyway, wish me luck. Here we are at the second one. Over 2 hours to get here, but that's something I knew was going to happen when I took the job going in the first place. I knew I was going to somewhere it's going to be a real struggle to get out of. I'm a little bit fed up actually. I'm now going to Bristol, and there's a job coming up for the morning, and I rang them. Actually, let me just open the side up. I'll get back to that. There, we're open. That's fine. So I got this one, just a short one at the end of the day, going to take me to Bristol, heading home in the right direction. Lovely. And then a job's come up, and it's going from Bristol in the morning. Very nice. Maidstone, and then Malden, out kind of Chelmsford way, and I'm thinking, I could do that job, I'd do the 2 drops, I'll get home tomorrow. Is that the full truck driver? Hang on a second. No, it's right, it's not, it's going the other way. So anyway, I bid them, and it's 200 miles and 2 drops. So I bid them £3 a mile, 2 drops as well, instantly rejected. So I ain't giving up that easy, so I've rung them. Here he comes. Just done you on the bed, mate. I saw it's right. Right, that was a bit of a, yeah, that's me all loaded. Luckily loaded nice and quickly. 5 pallets, not too heavy, so I put them up against the front, so I won't be having my front axle. Should be fine. So, right, bidding on this job. I bid on him. It was coming from Bristol in the morning, and it's going to take me from Bristol to Maidstone Way, and then to somewhere near Chelmsford. Is it Chelmsford? Oh, I can't even remember. Out kind of near Stansted, that kind of way. And so I bid them. It was 200 miles with 2 drops. I bid them £3 a mile. Got rejected instantly. So I've rung them up, and I've gone, look, I was rejected it instantly. What do you want? So I didn't think I was being too over the top. I said, but I am flexible, because this job will take me home, or could get me, like, I could get home from there, like, you know. And he said, let me see what's on the job. He says, my manager, and fair I play to him, he said, my manager, for whatever reason, has put it at 495. And I thought to myself, it's £2.50 a mile, given the extra drop for free, but you get home. I thought, you know what, I'll still do it. I said, you can have it 495. He said, ping it across, and we'll see what happens. Nothing happened. I rung the guy up and said, what do you want? He said, this is what we want. I went, there you go. No. So instead, I thought I was going home. Oh, no, I want to go home. I'm not going home. Instead, I have got Newport in the morning going to Liverpool. That's near home. No, it's not. What I can do, admittedly, I probably have got enough driving hours to go to Newport, drive up to Liverpool, and drive straight home empty. The problem I have with this, it's like my old science teacher said at school. It's like if you have a boulder at the top of a hill, that boulder has potential energy, and you can let that boulder roll down the bottom of the hill, just to push it and then it roll down, or you can set up things along the way so as that boulder down, they store the energy of the boulder. And if I'm in Liverpool at kind of lunchtime on a Thursday afternoon, I've got the potential, I've got a good earning potential there. The problem is, I've got to go where the money goes. If I'm lucky, I'll get Liverpool to Dunstable, and I'll have enough time and I'll be able to do it, but that never happens. To make matters worse, I also had a phone call from one of our regular shippers, and I got a bit of a tricky one. I always ring you when I got a tricky one. It needs to be picked up in Hitchin on Friday afternoon and delivered to Rugby at 6:30 at Saturday morning to Amazon. And I've said yes. Because why did I say yes? I'll tell you why I said yes. I was poor for a very long time, and I still know the value of a £1 note. And if I've got about another 4 weeks till Christmas, 4 or 5 weeks till Christmas, and if I have to go mad and bang it out, I'm going to go mad and bang it out. Money's money. It pays the bills. So, but yeah, so a bit disappointed. Still, I've got this one lined up, and then I've got my odd job for the morning lined up, and well, that's it really, isn't it? I'll keep you in the loop. See you soon. check the time on my clock. Yeah, that's all over. We've got an hour and 50 left, and it's about, according to the sat nav, it's an hour and 20 to get there. So we'll be tipping, and then very quickly finding a very safe place to stop. And I don't think it's going to be Travelodge tonight. Yeah, I've looked at the prices. I've got an app on my phone. I've got various apps on my phone. They've gone up a lot in price, and also by the time, bearing in mind what time I'm stopping and what time I'm starting, it's not even worth it. So tonight, I think I'll be sleeping with the third one in my life with Alice, if she'll have me. Hey Alice. Right, onwards and upwards. Right, here we go again then. Made it. Right, here we are in Bristol. 5 pilots coming off. Lovely using the full truck over there. You can see that's a bit bright. Yeah, I've got 20 minutes left on my clock, and the beauty is it's one of them industrial estates, but there's plenty of places to park, and there's no lines. So I'm going to go pull out of here, shut the bed down, shut the cab down. I'll show you, but it's dark, and besides you've seen it before, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Hello all. Well, bit of a supplemental. Managed to drop my load off okay, and then got in the lorry and thought I was going to Liverpool in the morning, and the guy phoned me up and he went, they've just cancelled. And then Jem phoned us, and she turned around and she said, did the guy ring you? And I went, yeah. He said, I didn't know if you go for a cancellation fee. And it's that tricky one, because I've basically held my truck over, because from like 4:30 to 6:30 when I was due to pick the job up. But I haven't headed off. I haven't done anything. I wasn't particularly fussed about going to Liverpool anyway, as I specified earlier. And so I kind of went, well, these things happen. So I've bid on various different jobs. Admittedly, I did bid on them about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, so I expect very little to come from it. Sorry about the poor quality, by the way. It's dark in here. So just a little one on truck living. Truck living takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at readapting the thing. I've got my phone, which sits nicely on the dashboard, where the vents go. I did have, courtesy of the wife, who turned around, I had the iPad. I thought, well, give the iPad a go, because the iPad's like, double the screens. It's not wonderful watching TV on the little phone, but because the iPad then has no Wi-Fi, I have to sync that via the phone, and the little thing went round and round and round, and in the end, I thought, I'm not playing this game. I also had the joy of watching on the phone through the phone speakers up until 3/4 of the way through the Mel Gibson geezer out of Captain America Exploding Helicopter film, which was actually good. I enjoyed that. Something about time and stuff like that. It was all right. And I thought, hang on a second, if I turn the keys on and plug it in, and I had stereo surround sound for the last 15 minutes, but I'm kind of learning how it goes. As it is now, like I say, I've been on various different jobs for the morning. One guy I spoke to was very pleased about the idea of the job, but he said the firm's not open till 7 o'clock, so I'm going to have to wait and see. So I don't set my alarm now. I've watched my movie, so yeah, I think I'm going to get my head down now, and we'll see what happens in the morning. Truck living. I think when you get used to it, it strikes me, what do I actually gain from a Travelodge? I gain a wash, which is nice. I wouldn't want to go too long without it. I gain a large bed to sleep in. But this bed's quite comfortable. It's quite kind of cool. When you get used to your little space, I like my little space. And sort of, you go in the toilet, which when you get to 52 years old age, it's kind of handy. But I ain't dead yet. I'm not infirm yet, so I think maybe if I just had a slightly bigger screen, if I could maybe get my head around this iPad, maybe get one of them 5G tablets, which aren't too dear on a plan, could save myself a little bit of money on travel lodges, should it come to it. In the meantime, I said I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. Morning, everyone. It's just before 7 o'clock. Woke up naturally, which is quite nice. About 6:45, so I'm just in the process of reconverting the mess that is my lorry back to a normal sustainable cab, and then we're off to Liverpool. Or are we? I can't remember if I mentioned it last night or not, because I know I did a supplementary, whether it up here or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, I got a phone call from the guy just when I finished getting tipped to say that job's been cancelled. And then Gemma rang me up and she said, "Did you get a cancellation fee?" And I went, I didn't know whether to ask or not. It was tricky because it's for the next day, and I'm a bit naughty that cancelling booking me at 4:30 and cancelling me at 6:30 when I had other jobs that I could have gone for, whether I would have got one in the meantime. But I had a quick little shift around, and I put a bid on 3 or 4. So what we're going to do now is we're going to reconvert the truck, take it to the nearest services or something like that, get myself kind of washed and straight, and see what the day brings. That's me walk round done. Everything's fine, nothing tampered with. Still got fuel, which is useful, particularly as I filled up before we started last night, that is rather. So now the next stop, 1 mile away, supermarket. Engage. And off we go. Gotta love the supermarket. The supermarket is your friend. It is 2.4 miles away. It'll have a large car park. Even if it has a barrier over the car park, there's normally somewhere where you can stick the truck, because they've got the bays around the back. They have to have deliveries to their supermarkets, which come in Arctics. So there's normally somewhere where you can put your lorry. Most of the time you can put it in the car park. You can use the toilet facilities and all that for free. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. I often don't sometimes, but you can do. They don't seem to mind. As is in this particular instance, I shall be getting myself some nice coffee, I'm hoping. Why is that closed? Oh, that's handy. Yeah, I shall be getting myself some nice coffee and getting me flask replenished. And the other big advantage is I'm going to drive for 9 minutes. Then I'm going to park the lorry up. I'm going to go to the loo, I'm going to wash my face, I'm going to clean my teeth, I'm going to get myself a coffee, all of which is going to take more than 15 minutes, which adds to my break time. Which means in the first 4.5 hours, as the job goes, when I stop, I've only got to stop for half an hour, because I've had my 15-minute break, cleaning my teeth and getting myself a coffee. So that's all good. As to be Asda's in this case, as opposed to let's go Tesco. Asda's, here we come. Well, I was heading for Asda's, but next to Asda's, somewhere even better. The Clown Shop. Because they sell coffee, which is really nice and really cheap. So that's where we're going after dumping the rubbish and cleaning our teeth. 2 coffees and a significant supply of milk and sugar. They don't ration it, do they? I'm going to put that in my little plastic container, and that'll be handy for when we need it for the next time. Thank you very much to the Clown Shop. Feeling more human already. Right, life is seeping back into my body now. The coffees from McDonald's have been decanted into the flasks, which had tea in them before, and of course I didn't get a chance to wash the flask out, so now I've got tea coffee, like they used to have in Zig and Zag. You know, they come on to the big breakfast and they say to the guy, the pop star of the day, and they go, tea coffee? And they go, yeah, I'll have a coffee, please. And they go, no, it's tea coffee. We've only got the 1 flask. My cousin Darren tried making tea coffee once. He put like a spoonful of coffee and a tea bag and sugar in a cup. I said, what was it like? He said it was revolting. I'll try it myself one day just to be sure. But yeah, love the Clown Shop. It's fantastic. And also we've decanted, because we've decanted, you know, not wishing to, you know, out of the Christmassy mug. That's now been cleaned out with kitchen rolls, and we've got spare tea and coffee in there. I've got a little plastic thing at home. I'm going to stick it in here. It's always handy to have. Don't get me wrong, that's not something I do on a regular basis, but it's always handy to have a little bit of sugar and milk to one side, just in case you do stay in a hotel and they give you 2 little sachets of coffee, 2 tea bags, 2 milk. You've only paid £85 for the privilege. I'm not bitter about that at all. So it's kind of handy when you can do the supplementary for them, because they're not always the best, like, you know. Something on the clown shop that did not upset me, but it's kind of sad, and it's not the clown shop's fault. There's 2 lads sitting in there, and I think they must be 6th formers, judging by the way they were dressed and how tall they were. And both of them are sitting either side of, well, firstly, it's, you know, 7:30 in the morning, you're sitting in McDonald's having breakfast. Why are you having breakfast in McDonald's? Why aren't you having breakfast at home? And I guess it's not so easy in the modern day. People work, maybe mum and dad are out, or maybe you get to that age when you're like 67, like, no, don't, no, dad, no, you're really uncool, no, I don't, no, I'm going out, you're embarrassing me, like, you know. So maybe, you know, they're 6th formers, they can do what they like now. But they're obviously mates, because I saw the 2 of them walk out together talking, but while I was in there, both of them sitting there like that. These things. This thing I'm recording on right now. They're a blessing and a curse. Honestly, I've got all my music library in one place. It's my video, it's my sat nav, it's the exchange. I'd be lost without it. But when you think, guys, you're obviously mates, put it down. We used to talk. Me and Nige, we just, you know, take a walk into school. It'd be like half hour. We just talk all the way there and all the way back. You never stuck a conversation at that age, so shame. Please use your phones responsibly. Right, still no jobs, which is not expected, but hopefully they'll start picking up round about now. So I've got 20 minutes on my clock. Lovely. I've got my rest time in, so we want to get working now. We want to get up and running. Let's see where the day takes us. Bing bong. So this is where we are. Search loads. There we go. And search loads from current location 7.5 to 7.5, and we want it today. Let's have a look. The Hatfield one's gone already, and that had an ADR on it. So that one's picking up. First one's picking up at 3 o'clock, and it's now 8:30 in the morning, so I don't really want to be hanging around, which is a shame because Warwick's near me. The second one's picking up at 4 o'clock, and the third one, which is going to Chatteris in the morning, which kind of would suit me, is picking up between 4 and 6 o'clock. Brilliant. I mean, I could bid them. I could go, I'll be there, and I'll be there, go view on map. I'm going to be there at like 9. And then I'm just kicking around for what, 5 hours? Don't get me wrong, if I get the right money on the job when I tip it in the morning, it might be worth it. Alternatively, I'd rather try and get a little one today and a little one tomorrow. And anyway, so we go back and we go to search load for 50 miles and we have a look. 50. I'm now positioned. Now, see, this is Winchester to Hatfield. Hatfield's not far from me. It says by the 22nd of November, so they don't want to pay a lot of money on it because it's got a big window. But yeah, but then you go like this and it goes ADR because it's battery. I haven't got ADR, so that's not happening for me. I started going 100 miles. Look at that. There's 5 jobs. I'm positioning myself here because I can go back to Bristol should I need to. I don't really want to go back myself, but I could. I could even go to Wales for the right job. If Newport to Dunstable come up, I'd travel back to get it. Alternatively, I can move on to Oxford, I can move on to Reading, I can move on to Basingstoke. I've got that problem that I can't go into London, but you see, if you go down to this, I'm going on 100. This is in November on a Thursday morning at 9:30 in the morning. I'm going on a 100-mile search radius trying to find a job. This is not good. Milton Keynes to Hatfield, and part of me thinks I could just go home, have a cup of tea, do that job, and then go home. For they, again, as I said before in this video about potential energy, it's just disappointing. I think what I'm going to do, I wouldn't mind if it was a bit bigger, if that job was worth, because that job's probably going to go for like 150, 180, maybe 200 quid if you're lucky. If I could get like 3 on it, maybe, but yeah, so here I am. I don't know what the future holds. I keep saying that, although I have seen the future, and it is bleak. Just, you know, let's keep our fingers crossed and see what pings up. Well, in all honesty, at 7:45 in the morning, that doesn't look very promising. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to head for home because I'm going to hit a motorway, so there's more chance of me getting somewhere quicker. And I know that there's possibly more chance I might be able to run locally, and I won't have to stay out again for another night. So it's kind of a bit of a selfish thing. I just don't know. It's a real dilemma. I don't know what to do at this point. If I head for home, there's a good chance something will come out of Newport. If I don't head for home, then there's a chance that something will come out of Andover. And I wish I'd gone that way. But I think what I'm going to at least do is try to get myself out of the town and position myself somewhere a bit more motorway-ish, because that way, if a job does ping up, I can get to it quicker. I'll let you know if we make the right decision. Perhaps if you can ever tell. Well, while I'm sitting here waiting for my next job, I've got a yellow puffer light on my dashboard. I spoke to Mark the mechanic. He turned around and said, don't worry about it. It might become an issue as you get near your next MOT, but I don't like lights. So I spoke to my mate Franz about it, and he said it might be something to do with DPF. He recommended this stuff. It says here 100 millilitres, and it says 10 mil on the back. I have to put my bins on to read it. It's only small writing. Treats 100 litres of fuel. So, and my tank is 100 litres. So I guess that is one pop. So I'm going to throw it in and see if anything happens with the yellow light or not. I'll keep you informed. Careful we don't throw that in there. There you go, Alice. Hope that helps. That one could have my name on it. Might not be going home again, but I'm half hour away. Fingers crossed. No, that one's gone. Must have gone on Arctic's going somewhere up there. I couldn't do any cheaper than that. I'm definitely out for the night on that one. Oh well, keep looking. You're never going to believe this. Look what's just reappeared. The one that I was supposed to do, the one that I wanted yesterday before the Liverpool job, has just pinged up again. So, sure enough, they said 495. I've gone, look, I'm doing nothing. I'll do the 495. We go on map. As it turns out, my moving to this distance hasn't been a killer, because view on map, I'm like 3/4 of an hour away, and then off to Maidstone, and then over to, where's that? Malden, then Chelmsford, M11 and home. So I've rung them, I've given the quote they wanted, 495, that's what they said they got on the job. What they say, we'll ring the customer and get back to you. We'll ring the customer, the magic job. Oh God, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Please keep them crossed for me. Another one, Worcester to Harlow. I am 75, an hour and a quarter to pick up, that's not too bad. And that drops me there. Now bearing in mind that I live in Dunstable, look, that ain't too far to get back. I did quote them originally 399, because that's 250 a mile, give or take, that's about right. But I rung them because I want it, and I always think if you want it, ring them at the same time. And he said we normally pay 385 on that job. We normally charge our customer 385. I said, look, I tell you what, I'll drop it down to 350. Just gives me more chance of getting it. I've been sitting here over an hour now. Nothing's pinging up. Not good. Right, this is getting silly now. I've been sitting here for about an hour and a half. I'm now going on a 100-mile search radius. I've just done this. Look where I'm quoting from. Milton Keynes. I was in Bristol, and I'm quoting from Milton Keynes. I live in Dunstable. The reason being, I've just pinged up another job. I've dropped the price on them. I've got a magic job. We'll ring the customer. Nothing happens, and I'm just sitting here. So I'm now thinking, if this comes in, and it probably won't, because I've quoted them £200 on a short mileage, but I'm going to drive nearly 2 hours past my house to pick up a job, take it to Oxford, and go home. But yeah, this is the frustrating thing about you never get to keep it. You do one job one day where you smash it, and then the next day the whole well runs dry. It's just annoying. Unbelievable. I've only gone on 1 Milton Keynes. It was like, she rang instantly. Nice lady, how long can you be? I said, I'm going to be there in 2 hours. Perfect. I'll send it through. So I'm now driving. I started in Bristol. I'm driving to Milton Keynes to get my next job. But that'll take me to Oxford at a reasonable time. And then I'm going to try and get one on for afterwards for the morning, because I've got to pick up in Hitchin tomorrow, and then I'm going home. But my God, to have to go all the way, like from Bristol to Milton Keynes for your next job. Oh, anyway, off we go. Well, here we go then. Off to MK. Bye-bye Cirencester. Hello roundabout land. What can I say? The only advantage to this is I know MK, I know Whitebush well, and it's going straight from the logistics firm. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm sure I've been in there before. So it should be an easy load. It should be a relatively easy tip, I hope. And now I'm in Oxford. So, but I feel don't get me wrong, I'm not crying. I mean, I got very, very good money yesterday, particularly as I sneaked that one in the end. And today it's going to be sometimes it's just not your turn. That's something I learned when I was on the market, where you would turn around. Hang on a second. Something I learned on the market. Sometimes it's just not your turn. You turn around and you go, he was like, you make excuses, That's doing that. Yeah, so you'd be like, oh, well, it's because it's the beginning of the month, it's the end of the month, they've just been paid, it's too wet, it's too cold, and you have 1,000,001 excuses for why you're having a bad day. I was going to write a book on it once. 101 excuses for why I'm having a bad day, and you can just pick one at random. My favourite one being excuses you can only use once in your lifetime. There's a guy turned around to me once and said, take any money a day. I went, no, it's quiet. I said, and I knew what was coming. I said, what do you think it is? He went, oh, because of the solar eclipse. I thought, you ain't going to be able to use that excuse again. But yeah, so something I've learned is some days it's just not your turn. You've just got to roll with it. And sure enough, 5 minutes after taking the Milton Keynes job, I'm on the road on my way to MK. Only 2 hours to pick up, and the phone rings. And it's the guys with the job that was going from kind of Gloucester to like Stansted way for more money and less time. And I went, mate, he said, I can't do it now, I've taken another job. And he said, they've just sent it. He said, they've just given us the okay. I went, what can I do? The problem is that bird in the hand thing. If I hadn't taken the MK job, I'd have been sitting there for another hour. It's because I took the MK job that the other one came through. Because reality is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, and it's one that's clearly stacked up against me. I've run the wife though. I said, look, I'm doing Oxford, I'm going to Milton Keynes, and then I'm going to Oxford. And I said, you know where I'm going after Oxford? And she said, you're coming home. I went, yes. Admittedly, I will try and get something from Oxford, maybe a short one this afternoon, or maybe something I can pick up from Oxford, Milton Keynes, Northampton, Watford, Dunstable, somewhere, to have it on board for the morning, and then we'll see what tomorrow holds. Milton Keynes, here I come! Well, that I think is probably one of the longest distance to pickups ever. I think I did one in Scotland that was about 2.5 hours, and that was 2 hours. I can't say it was an unpleasant journey. We sort of drove through Oxford. It drove through roads that I'm familiar with, and now I shall be hopefully picking up somewhere where I am also. I am picking up from the first place I ever picked up from. I know where I am now. I've just remembered. This place I'm getting to, the first job I ever went to when I was working for Tony, and I had to take it in somewhere in Woolwich, I picked up from here. I have a very fond memory of this place. Oh, well, there you go. And also know they load me nice and fast, which is a bit dead handy. So here we are in Wycombe. Yeah, talking to you, I took a wrong turn. Fortunately, it's Milton Keynes, isn't it? Built on a grid system, just like America. Grid system for the roundabouts. Apparently at Milton Keynes, the tyres on the left side of the car wear out much quicker than the tyres on the right side of the car because they do a lot more distance because they're constantly around roundabouts. Sounds like an urban myth to me. Might be true. Is it here? I believe it's here. Right, let's get parked up and get loaded. Bing bong. Well, here we are ready for the next collection. I never read where it was going. You know, I don't tend to. Maybe have a quick look, like, you know. And the guy says, yeah, lovely. He said, do you know where you're going? And I said, oh, society. He said, is it Formula One? Well, I don't know. Is it Formula One? It is. I'm going to Williams Engineering Formula One, which could be interesting. It also means I might not be allowed to film because some of these places get a bit funny about that. So if I can't, I'll do it afterwards. But this is going on there. That on board. Here we go again. Right, off to Formula One. Dun 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 dun. Fleetwood Mac the chain. Off the room now. Yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit better now. Okay, 2 hours to pick up. That's ludicrous. Waiting for so long to get a job. That was also silly, really.
In 1,000 feet. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Right. Yeah, not ideal. But I got there, I knew where I was going. I got there, I went pretty much straight there, pulled up. I didn't have to wait to get loaded. I can expect on a normal job to spend...
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto A5 towards Hinckley.
To spend an hour going to pick the job up, and then I could wait for an hour or even longer than an hour to get loaded. So instead going 2 hours to get a load and then getting loaded instantly, it's kind of the same thing. Not ideal, as I say, in any way, shape or form. I don't know where. But it'll do. And I've got Formula One. That'll be interesting. Let's see if we can show you. Off we go. 42 minutes to Formula One. I imagine Lewis Hamilton would have done it slightly quicker than me. But then I don't think his race car's limited to 56 miles an hour. So, well done, Lewis. Right, according to the sat-nav, we are 4 minutes away. Over this bridge and round the roundabout, and there we are. And I wonder if they'll let me take. Okay, have a look, shall we? I can see it might be Formula One. A lot of these times they say they're Formula One. It's just a warehouse or a garage or some kind of shed. I don't think it's going to be a shed. Now, find out. There we go, Williams Racing. It looks very security gate to me. Yeah, I can't see a sign that says I'm filming, so hello Williams. I'll stop in time for the high vis. Go and talk to this gentleman. Oh, lady. Good news, it's coming off with the forks. Well, that's that one done then. That was nice and easy. That's an absolute dream. Found a place instantly, found a second place instantly, forked on instantly, forked off instantly. Very nice guy from South Shields. So now, because I started so late, because I didn't get my first job on until, oh God, what was it? About 11:30 it must have been. I know it's only taken me 2 hours to do the job, but because I started so late, I'm now in the twilight zone. This is why I like to start at 5, 6 in the morning. Have one on the night before, get it off at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Then you've got all day to get one job and get one on for the next day. Because I'm in Oxford, which isn't the best. It's not the worst, but not the best area. And I'm in the twilight zone. I've had a quick look. We're going to have a quick look on here and see what's on here. So I could change my my status to available, but nothing ever comes of that, and if it does, it's always something you don't want. So today, from the current location in my lorry, we have got one job, picking up at 4 o'clock in Swindon, and then going to Swindon, and then going to Rugby. And with the time on my clock, and do I really want to be in Swindon at 4, and then Swindon again at 5, and then Rugby at what? How many miles? 6, 7, 8, 9. I've been away from home, I don't want it. So it's a bit of a frustration. So I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to head towards base. If I put it on the sat nav here and see how far it is to get back from here, it tells me I have got an hour.
We're all set. Drive safely.
An hour and a half. And what I shall do.
Make a U-turn.
All right, shush. I shall head towards base, and if something pings up in the meantime, on the banners, I'll grab it if I'm lucky. But it is, I've got to be honest with you, it is a bit of a long shot at this stage. If not, it's one of those things. Yesterday was the second busiest day I've ever had. Today was just one of those days that's been happening all too often, where I get one job and just can't get another one. And it's like I say, I'm kind of surprised in November that the choice just doesn't seem to be there. But I'm not going to cry about it though. Even the one job I did today in a lorry is almost my target for the day in a Luton van. And so a lot of time recently I've been picking up at like in the morning. I might be done at home at lunchtime, so I can't cry about it. Just at this stage, I really like to get my head down and earn a few dough. Christmas is coming, and got to pay for the presents and the turkey and the sprouts and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have a look. I might be lucky. Let's see what the next video brings. Will it bring, yay, we got another one, or will we're back at the yard? Have a guess. Well, I'm not back at base, and I'm not at my next pickup for a job. I'm here. Anyone who knows the Oxford area might know that there's a little lay-by that's set back off the road on the way home. The reason for this is joys of running in a lorry. I'm running out of driving time. It became all too apparent when I got in. I thought I had enough time to get me back home again, but I looked at my clock and it was an hour and a half back to base, and I had an hour and 10 minutes left on my clock, which means I'm now stopping for a nice relaxing break. I do these videos for a hobby for half an hour. I'm going to give you mate Nigel a ring. He's just rung me about some book thing, and I'm definitely not getting another job now. The one thing I will say, I'm having a look for tomorrow for Hatfield, because I've got to drop my job tomorrow morning. It's my favourite job. I love it. Picks up in Aylesbury, goes to Hatford. It's really light, plenty of room, forked on, forked off. Nice journey, super easy. I love it. Every time I book it, I forget it's there, and it comes through. I'm going, oh, it's that one again. Brilliant. So I've actually the fork truck driver, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, told me that I had to watch Moana, the Disney film, kind of kids Disney film, and I actually did. I watched it because I was out of the house on Monday. It's all right. It's got the rocking. I had to fast forward a couple of the songs, and I never thought I'd be back in there so quickly. But the fact that I'm going to be there tomorrow, I can actually say I watched it. Had to fast forward a couple of the songs, but it was all right. It was good. So, but no, I'm done. I'm going to get this back. We'll have a little final sum up when I get back to the yard. But I'm going to have my half-hour break now, then an hour's worth of journey, and then bing bong. And here we are back at the yards, 4 o'clock, which this time of year is nice to get back at 4 o'clock just before it all goes dark, so it sort of doesn't seem quite so bleak. But yeah, so on the balance, yesterday I had the second best I ever had. Today I had one of the worst days I've ever had. That's money wise. Yesterday I got to tour Wales and see a part of Wales I'd never seen before. Managed to squeeze a little job at the end, and of course slept in the death. That was absolutely fine. I'm trying to get my feet together. I've got a new toy coming. I've got a new gadget, one of them tablet things, and I'm trying to work it so that, because when I get working, we'll do a video. I'm good at that. Yesterday, okay, a lot of driving, a lot of dead miles for no apparent reason, but on the plus side of things, I've got tomorrow's job booked, and I've managed to click one on the back of tomorrow. So now I've got one I'm picking up. I've got Aylesbury to Hatfield. Let me just check that. Thank you. I've got Aylesbury to Hatfield, and then I've got Milton Keynes to Leicester, and then I'm picking up in Hitchin. Now, admittedly, Leicester to Hitchin is a bit of a drive, but I get enough money on the Milton Keynes to Leicester, and if it's M1 and it's clear, it's not too bad, so. And when I'm hitching, it's only the same as doing Milton Keynes to, no, it's not, don't even worry about it, I'm bored now. And if you take the average across the 2 days, yesterday and today, they're still both very good days. And like I say, we work all the time, we don't work some of the time, what could I have done differently? I could maybe have, where it went wrong was when they cancelled my Liverpool job at 6:30 at night. I could have asked them for a cancellation fee. That would have taken the sting out today a little bit, but it's confusing. The jobs that I bid on last night that then weren't there in the morning because they just didn't appear. Obviously, they got cancelled or they'd gone on their own wagons or something like that. So I should maybe have sat in sort of the Gloucestershire area for a little bit longer before driving all that way to Milton Keynes to do one job. But then I could have, as Gemma said, you could have been sitting there all day. You could have been sitting there till 2-3 o'clock and in the end driven home empty. At least you got one job out of it. It is imponderable. It is like there is. I'm still a big fan of bird in the hand. It's worth two in the bush, but at the same time, you're gambling. You're rolling the dice all the time. Like, as long as you're rolling the dice and you've got enough, you get to the end of the week, you paid all your bills, you've got a bit of money left over. It's not too bad, So anyhow, so that was life on the road. I actually thought I'd be out for a lot longer than that. Oh, and one other wonderful thing: that stuff I put in the diesel tank, the yellow light's gone out. Well, that's handy, so I might have to buy some more of that because that little one clearly didn't cut the mustard. But you're supposed to do it every time. I might do it every time I remember. But so that's it. I'm now looking forward to going home. Going to have a beer, have a home cooked meal, a bath and a bed, and tomorrow's Friday. So that's wonderful. And you guys, take care. Take money. Here, look at this. See that? Yay! The yellow light's gone out. Thanks, Alice. We'll look after you.